So I'm Chef Cody Requejo. I am the culinary director of SEREMONI Fish. SEREMONI is basically a new philosophy on how fish should be. You're talking about an artisanal Japanese process of humanely killing a fish. Always been done by hands for hundreds of years, and what we've done is we've invented a technology that's using AI, it's using the brightest minds in our country, and it's built this machine that automates this process. And you're talking about scaling this, the likes you've never kind of seen, and you're really getting a fish in its really good pristine quality, and the timing of it as well. You're seeing fish get here in 2 days to a chef, and it's just in the best pristine quality. Also, it maximizes the freshness, so they're getting another 7 days on top of that. So I wanted to show you actually. So there's the thing we were talking about.
So it's interesting, the hole looks smaller than the actual.
It does, right? Yeah.
Is that just the velocity it's
I think the velocity goes in and comes right out. It's not like a thing that goes really, really slow. We want this fish to feel the least amount of trauma and stress as possible.
Right.
So it's very quick.
Right.
Like, as soon as this thing goes in the machine, it's pretty much spiked and brain dead in under 3 seconds.
Yeah, you should tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so
when you have a moment.
The company Shinke, which is the parent company, is the technology company side
Amazing.
of this.
I
kind of blew your
I'm
mind,
like,
right?
yeah, it blew my mind away.
We build machines, I'd say technology that automates a Japanese process called ikejime. And the ikejime process is basically, you bring the fish out as fast as possible out of the water, and you, how can I say it as PC as possible? You basically want to have the fish experience the least amount of trauma. So you spike the brain, killing the brain instantly, so now there's no more stress or trauma happening to that fish. And then we have another step that cuts the gill artery, and now the blood is still, the heart is still pumping, but the blood is now being pumped out of that artery, out of that wound. And what that does is that's where all the bacterial growth can happen, that's where all the stress hormones, the lactic acid, the cortisol, the adrenaline that's basically pumping through those veins is now being purged from that fish. And then it goes into an ice slurry and it gets chilled. Doing those steps controlled at scale is a game changer for the seafood, like the seafood industry, because this fish, basically you're giving it another week of shelf life. I mean, we've done the tests, we've done the data collecting. I've cut a fish well into 14 days, and it's still been in.
So what's the total time that one fish takes to go through that process?
6 seconds.
6 seconds?
6 seconds through the machine. At scale, you're talking thousands of pounds of really high-end fish that when we had our restaurant, my partner and I had a restaurant, we could maybe get our hands on like 4 or 5 fish a week, because now all the other chefs are competing to get that same catch.
Right.
And you're on a text thread chain of, hey, I've got this much fish. You've got to respond right away. If you respond too late, maybe you get 2 fish. So we can never menu this kind of fish because it was just gone in seconds. We'd sell it in 1 day. This, if we would have had access to this, could have been a whole program. I can imagine a restaurant that just uses this SEREMONI grade product.
Yeah.
It would be a game changer.
And I'm sure there's a difference in taste, right?
Taste, texture, flavor, everything. You're basically taking, we do this with all of our land animals at a really high level. We've just never done this at scale with seafood. So this is like a whole new beginning of like how seafood could be consumed by, instead of you paying a little bit more money to go like a Michelin star restaurant, this can be in every restaurant. Right. This is actually, I'd say for the money, this can go into any kind of really, not high end, but any kind of average restaurant at scale.
Healthier option.
Healthier, you're getting more life
quality.
force, better quality, better flavor. I'll say another thing is like, you don't have to do much to this fish. You don't need to lather it with sauce. It doesn't need to marinate. You really don't have to do much of it. This fish is doing all the work for you. Maybe some salt, maybe some acid, but that's it. I'll go back to what we said. So all I'm doing right now is this is the tsukibiki technique. This is just, I'm basically just cutting in between the skin and the scale. And what that does is that's gonna remove that moisture that kind of hides in that area. And now what's gonna happen is this skin will dry out. It'll kind of create like a barrier, and this will become like almost like a leather belt, really firm and leathery. What that lets that do is the meat that's underneath it, it starts to break down and create flavor, better texture, and this fish will be, most people think when you eat a fish, it's supposed to taste like the ocean, and that's great, that's amazing. But what this does is this gives this time for the fish to kind of express itself naturally, what the fish actually tastes like. And also, you gain a lot more time. Shelf life on this fish. And I've got about 150 pounds of this to prep today. And this is going to be used at a big chef event here this month, next Monday, here in LA. I think of my aprons as a tool. My knives and everything, when you start becoming a chef, and then when you finally get a really good apron that you like, you're like, oh, this is great. I like the weight of it, I like the fit of it, all those things. And then when you get a really good apron, that you think of like, someone put some thought into this, of why I like this. You want to look official, but also you want to be comfortable, and you want to feel like you're wearing something. It's like a uniform, it's our costume, it's our superhero costume, and I want to feel official. And when I put this thing on, whether I'm doing something for an Oscar party or someone else, I know like I look like I belong there. I look like, like a chef. They wear really well as far as how they wear down over time. That's something I really like. And I don't want an apron I don't want a year of wearing an apron that goes, I want something I can wear forever. That's how I look at it.